Project Eden's Garden. I recently canceled Fangan. A peak level that we were expecting. All ended in a tragedy. A serious one. Well, I decided to make something fun. Hi, my name is Anthony. Let's start off with this. Welcome to the first video of Project Eden's Wheel of Fate. So how will this work? Well, you probably guys know the recently trends, the Danganronpa Wheel of Fates. Usually if you guys don't know what it is, usually Danganronpa characters are put up their names. Whoever placement is going to be in that placement. Like, this person is the victim, this person is the killer, all that stuff. Usually people made videos about like more of a longer video instead of a short one. But this one, I want to talk about this one's completely different. I'm not making like a fast video of editing or just like an instant animation video. This video is going to be a lot more different because this video will have storytelling. Here's how it works. I have two separate wheels that depends on the characters and the chapters themselves. We have 20 characters in Project Eden's Garden. Now, I understand that you're confused about why are there 20 characters? Because usually when you talk about characters in Project Eden, it's usually 18. Because I'm counting both Tozu and Mara. But also counting two others as mentioned in Project Eden. Kara, which is Kara Cohesion, the Prologue victim, and Damien, the guy that is on the calendar and a scrap character for Project Eden's Garden's early stages. So that's a total of 20. Now, the second wheel is completely different. This wheel determines the chapters, murder places, all that stuff. It's kind of strange, don't you think? Let me explain each one. Single talks about literally a single murder. One victim, one killer. But that depends. If it's the same person being victim and killer, then that counts as a suicide or an accidental. Next up, double victim. Usually it's commonly known as a chapter 3. But this time, this will be different because since this placement exists, so it's possible that an early chapter might have 2 victims. Well, that depends on the wheel. Next up, different killers. We've seen how in the original Danganronpa series, usually the rule states that if there's 2 different killers, the one who was killed first has to be identified. So yeah, this chapter is going to exist. So 2 killers is going to have one be executed and the other one be survived. Next up, extra chapter. When chapter 5 ends, this wheel, and if this lands on it, this means that an extra chapter will be available, and depending on the other murder placements. Next one is Mastermind. If it lands on here after chapter 5 or after the extra chapter, this ends here and the Mastermind will be revealed. However, there's another thing called double Mastermind. 2 Masterminds in 1. Kind of strange, don't you think? However, extra chapter, Mastermind, and double will not be existing for now, since we're not at the end of chapter 5. So available for now, we're doing the prologue. So all murders and extra chapters will not be available for now currently until chapter 1. Now then, I have already spun the reel because since I want to keep this a surprise. Let's start with our story. And of course, introduction to our main protagonist. The play starts when a certain someone receives an invitation to a special ceremony and a special field trip to the Garden of Eden. Not Eden Gardens Academy itself. I mean, 3-week field trip, staying at the most famous, historical, and amazing gardens, including its scenery, other places. We're meeting our protagonist, Ulysses Wilhelm, the ultimate historian. I had to say, Ulysses being the protagonist makes him more decent, and honestly, pretty much peak. I really like Ulysses a lot, since he deserves a lot more development. Ulysses has entered the train area, meeting 19 other people with him. However, there is one person who is go against him. the president, the masked man himself, Tozu. Tozu is our main antagonist from the wheel. Sure enough, I think Tozu is a decent antagonist, but that depends on the wheel. However, Ulysses is not alone. He got backup from someone he just met and considered a worthy ally. That's right, Winona. Can I just say, this is like quite shocking. Winona is being the support, and Ulysses being the protagonist. Seems like a decent combo. As for now, suddenly, white gas comes around, knocking everyone out. They woke up in a strange terrarium known as the Eden's Garden. Looking around, normal skies, healthy trees, but no sign of other people. No tourists, no staff. They do find a nearby cafeteria, cabins for their stay, bathrooms. What else? Oh, there's also a fountain, a train ride, and the ocean. Wait, what? There's no way. There's no way there's an ocean nearby. Is this Garden of Eden after all? Or is this just to make an imitation? Now, I don't have a mascot, and I don't want to use Monokuma, so I'm gonna replace Monokuma with Monocro, since Danganronpa Another 2 is clearly a saint. Monocro announced that will have our first mock trial. And the mock trial will depends on their investigation, their knowledge, their wits of solving a murder, and how they can endure it. Finding a fake dead body near the garden, everyone has begun investigating. Ava, Damon, Kai, and Diana went into a group. Ulysses and Winona stayed as one. Desmond agreed that Toshiko and Eloise stay with him, since he is more equipped at using weaponry. Wolfgang stayed with Grace, along with Ingram and Damien. Cassidy stayed with John, including Kara, Tozu, Mara. Jay agreed with Mark. As the group split off, at least they found some evidence to point out about the fake murder. As a result, they have headed straight to the fountain where Monokuma told them. Suddenly, that fountain turned itself into a ginormous elevator. Kind of strange, don't you think? Anyways, everyone entered it and ascended down to the trial room. It's quite royal. It has a ceiling window, a dome to be exact, podiums, a strange throne, plants with thorns but no roses, and numerous amount of clocks. It's time again to do the practice trial. After everyone discussing it, so here's how this murder happened. There's a weird note telling the victim to come in nearby the fountain. The culprit grabbed the shovel from this tool shed, slowly sneaked behind the victim, and knocked them out. Then went on to dragging the victim to nearby the garden. However, they found a nearby stone and started to beat them with it to make sure they stay dead. Not to mention, they also tried to temper the scene with messing up with the roses, tearing down the tool shed with all the supplies on the ground, and putting the shovel into the fountain to wash off the blood. And that's how this murder came out. Look, I'm not good with making practice trials or practice murders, but I think I have written a lot for more of the other future chapters. Once everyone solved this case, Monocro congratulates them. However, that doesn't mean that they get to leave the island. That's right. This is not the actual Garden of Eden. This is just a huge, ginormous island that has all types of Eden. 20 people stuck in this island. No communication to the outside world. No communication to reach out their friends. Nowhere nearby civilization. All of them are stuck until one of them dies. And that concludes the prologue. I think that went by fast. But this is just the prologue, right? It's not meant to be this long, but I'm trying to make it more like a close summary. But anyways, this is how, to make it short, simple, Ulysses, the protagonist, Tozu's the antagonist and we're known as the support. However, since chapter 1's about to begin soon, everyone's fate is on the wheel, which they don't know. Anyone can kill or murder. Anyone can commit a suicide or get away with it. Anyone will betray the group at any moment. This concludes the prologue of Project Eden's Wheel of Fate.